Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Open your mind and let go of the fears of midlife and aging. Some people see midlife as a time of stress and overwhelm, but we're not going to do that. We see midlife as an opportunity for continued learning and growth. Life's a journey, not a destination. It's a continual process and can get better all the time. And the best part, you can write your own rules. So in each Midlife Magic episode, we're going to have conversations with interesting and cool people that will give you the inspiration and know-how on how to live your best life. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey friends, I hope you are enjoying the Midlife Magic episodes. Today's episode is a little bit different, a little bit kind of like a spontaneous podcast recording. Recently connected with a friend of mine from high school, and actually my boyfriend from high school from 30 years ago, my boyfriend, Jody Cohen. And we were just chatting about shakes or smoothies on Facebook. And next thing I know, I'm like, hey, you want to do an episode? I think that would be really fun to hop in and do a show and talk a little bit about, we're coming up on our 30th high school reunion this October. And I've been thinking a lot about what I've learned over the past 30 years, especially as I'm heading into 50, as well as the fact that I'm helping to coordinate this high school reunion from a distance. So I want to give a massive, massive shout out to Joanne Burrow up in Richmond, Virginia, who is spearheading all of this for us. Maybe I'll have her on the podcast. She's a super fun person. She's super interesting and super cool. Have her on the show at some point. We can talk more about like high school reunions. I'm planning them. If you guys want to hear more about that, let me know. Send me a message. And also to Jen Latham Shotwell. She is also on the committee. And I think we have now included Terrence O'Neill on our high school committee. So you guys are rocking and rolling, putting this thing together. And come October of 2021, we are all hoping to meet up in Richmond and celebrate the fact that we have been out of high school for 30 years. I went to my 10-year reunion, but I missed the 20-year reunion. And something that Jody and I kind of touch on in our conversation is, social media really allows you to kind of keep up with everybody. But what you see on social media is a highlight reel. We don't really know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't really know people's struggles. I mean, unless they put them out there, of course. But you never really know. Like social media, it's a wonderful thing. And if we had it back in 1991 when we graduated from high school, I don't know. I really don't know what our world, how different our lives would have been. I'm so glad that we are Gen X and that we grew up without social media. We grew up without cell phones. We actually had to call people on a landline. We had to listen to cassettes. We had little mini radios. We rode our bikes places. We met friends at the mall. There was no texting. We had to call each other. And I remember, I don't know if you ever remember, like when you're dating somebody, like the nerves that you would have when you would call their number and like if their parents answered, or it was just always so nerve-wracking. But so anyway, I'm excited to share this discussion with you guys. Jody is such a great guy. And just to give you an overview of this interview or this conversation. So after high school, Jody played football at Hampton-Sydney. I think it's Hampton-Sydney University or Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia. I went off to the University of Georgia for a little bit and then ended up transferring back to Virginia Commonwealth University where I graduated. And then Jody he has been in music since I think, what did he say, high school or middle school? I can't recall when he started playing, but he was in a band. He was a professional musician for many years, had a lot of fun in his 20s and lived a really cool life from like 1999 to early 2000s. He and his bandmates in the Mountain of Venus were traveling around performing. And I remember Billy and I went to go see Jody when he came to Columbia, South Carolina. I want to say it was like maybe in 2000 or 2001. I remember going to see him play. And like Billy and Jody got to meet, and that was really cool because, like I said, Jody was my high school boyfriend and just a super great guy and will always hold a special place in my heart. So it was really cool to have I don't think we were married yet. No, we weren't married yet. So my boyfriend meet my past boyfriend, which I don't know, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it was just like, if you hold people special in your heart, and Jody is definitely one of those people. So I hope you enjoy this conversation. It was really fun. We just kind of had a chat. We just went down different rabbit holes and we're talking about different things. And yeah, so this is a really fun Midlife Magic episode, and I will see all my Douglas Southall Freeman rebels, because we were the rebels. They changed the They changed the mascot. I can't remember what it is now, but we're the Rebels. Once a rebel, always a rebel. So without further ado, enjoy this interview with Jody Cohen. So welcome to the show, Jody Cohen. It's so awesome to have you here. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Oh, yeah, you bet. I'm really excited to have you on the show. And I probably need to preface this by saying that we have our 30th high school reunion coming up this October. And I can't believe it's been 30 years. That blows my mind.
Right.
And yeah, how do you feel about that?
It's pretty crazy. It was 30 years ago now. It goes by fast.
It really does. And I want to just also let you guys know that Jody and I we dated. We were together our senior year and after. So I don't know, is this weird? Are you cool? I mean, like, it's kind of weird, but it's also very friendly and familiar and at the same time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, I'm comfortable with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
You were my first love.
Oh, was I really? Well, you were mine too. I mean, you really were my first love. In fact, the ring you gave me, that scarab ring, do you remember that?
Wow. Yeah.
Our oldest daughter loves it, and she asked if she could have it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you and I, we have a history. So for those listening, yes, we have history, but it's been 30 years. Well, it's probably been 28 years since we dated. So it's been a while, and I'm married. I've been with my husband, Billy, since 2000. So that's coming up on 21 years. But you and I were dating in 1990, 91, and 92. And wow, the 90s. Let's just talk a little bit about the high school experience in the early 90s. What really stands out for you?
Oh, the pure innocence of it, probably.
Yeah.
We were so young then.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. Obviously, love is love, but
right.
Yeah, we were just so young and didn't know anything at that point.
Yeah, we knew nothing. But I think back to that time and the things that I do remember, of course, we dated and we did all that. But if you think back, we actually knew each other longer than that, because I think my mom told me that we went to preschool together. I think, is that right?
At the JCC?
We went to preschool. Yeah, the JCC in Richmond, Virginia, which is where we're from. And then my dad went to high school with your mom.
Right. There's some history there for sure.
Yeah. And I think your mom, she'll get a kick out of this. And I'm sure she remembers this too. But my dad used to say how gorgeous your mom was in high school. So I think that's pretty fun that we have that, connection. Yeah. And she still is. She's still beautiful.
Yes.
So yeah, let's talk, besides the fact that we dated and we have that history, let's talk about, what do you remember from the 90s in high school? I remember the music, and I remember hanging out all the time with you guys, listening to Van Halen. Remember all that Van Halen?
Oh yeah.
Is that the OU812 album?
I think you're thinking of Yes.
I don't know. Oh, you mean the band?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that? I'm gonna have to look it up. If you guys remember which album we're talking about.
1984 and
yeah. Yeah, but don't you remember? Well, I know I remember Driving and Crying. We listened to a lot of Driving and Crying. Yep. Remember that? Fly Me Courageous. Yep. I think it just come out. That's the music of our senior year of high school for me, is that Van Halen, whatever we were listening to, Driving and Crying.
Widespread Panic, I think.
Widespread Panic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was just in Athens last weekend, and I took a picture of the Widespread Music Hall of Fame thing they have you just kind of walk through Athens and see all these different musical icon things. And I don't even know where the REM one was, but I happened upon the Widespread and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I took a picture of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where those guys are from. They've done well.
Yeah, totally. And you played football.
Yep. High school
so we have to talk about
college.
That. So tell us about the college football.
I loved it. It was Division III, no scholarships or anything like that, but still super competitive. Yeah, I mean, I loved playing football all 4 years. Got an invite to a pro combine, but I knew then that it wasn't really my life. I loved playing, but I didn't want to make it a career. Plus, I felt like I was not big enough anyway.
Yeah.
And gosh, I look at the guys playing now, and yeah, it's just bigger, stronger, faster. It's amazing.
Yeah. But you also played music or play music to this day. You still play.
Yes, I do and did. I started playing music in high school, a
Mm.
sophomore year, and it's been probably the most important thing I ever did in my life was doing that. It still gives back to me to this day. It's my meditation, honestly.
Mm.
Yeah.
So music has done a lot for you over the past 30 years.
Yes. Yeah. And, did it professionally for a number of years from about 99 through 2005
Mm-hmm.
and toured all over the country, playing
Mm-hmm.
lots of shows, 200 plus shows a year, and got to meet lots of interesting people and do lots of fun things. And yeah, it changed my life.
Yeah. And then, well, I remember you came to Columbia and Billy and I came to see you play. I remember that.
Yes.
That was probably like 2000
Yeah.
ish. I'm guessing that was, God, 21 years ago. Woo.
And
It doesn't feel like it's that long, but I know it. I mean, it is.
a lot of things have happened since then.
Yeah. So after the music, what did you do next?
I just wanted to like settle somewhere and kind of like plant some roots. We were on the go all the time, and there's a lot of sacrifice that you make to have that kind of life. And so I wanted to get, have a stable income and a relationship,
Yeah.
lots of things. So doing real estate now.
Yeah.
I was an appraiser for years, and then I got my sales license and been doing that for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And it's great. I love it.
You're a people person. I imagine you get great referrals and you have great customers and
I've been blessed. I do. I've got some fantastic clients that have, a lot of them have become friends, and it's really enriched my life a lot.
yeah. Yeah. So I definitely hear a theme of feeling enriched and grateful for the experiences that you've had in your life. How do you have that attitude? Like where'd that come from?
Genetics? I don't know. I had a great upbringing. My family life, my parents, I loved so much. And I don't know, somehow they set me up with a really positive attitude.
Yeah. That's really cool. I mean, it's like it's innate in you. I feel like you've kind of
It
always had
is.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's always been that way. Now, I mean, there's been things that have happened in my life that have taken me in different directions, I guess, but
Mhm.
I'm getting back to it.
Yeah. Get back to what?
To that just innate happiness.
Yeah, I can see it. For those, I mean, I wish you could see his face and his smile and his happiness. That hasn't changed. I mean, that definitely has not changed. One of the things that I remember so much is everybody loved Jody. Everybody just loved Jody. Everybody loves Jody. Jody's so great. Everybody loves Jody. Never anything unkind to say about Jody. So, I mean, it's definitely part of who you are.
Yeah, I was really shy as a kid. I felt kind of like a late bloomer. Everyone
Mm.
else had girlfriends and boyfriends before I did. We dated senior year, and before that, I think I'd only had like one girlfriend,
Mhm.
maybe two with max, and not a whole lot of experience with that. I don't know. And I still feel like a late bloomer, honestly. I graduated from college and decided to just have some fun in life, before I got serious into a job.
Mhm.
Moved out to Colorado
Oh,
to
yeah.
be a ski bum for a few years and figure things out. And during that time is where I met everyone else in the band that I was in, Mountain of Venus.
Mm.
And from there, we all moved to Boston, toured all over New England, and really started touring all over the country. and then moved to Arkansas, all of us together. And I'm still in Arkansas now, along with a few other of the band members. And I love it there. It's great.
Yeah. I remember when you moved to Colorado, I think I was like, what are you doing? That's not fair. But I didn't have that mindset of like, go and have fun. I had the mindset of you get a job and you go work. And so I think it's really neat how you had the fun, like you went and did it. And I didn't do that route. I went a different route. And now I feel like I'm starting to have fun in my 40s.
Hey, better late than never.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Better late than never. Like at least it's all coming out in the wash. So what's in store for the music? Is there a reunion or anything? Y'all going to play again?
We did a 20-year reunion in October of 2019.
Okay.
Which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was so great. And everybody felt so good about it, almost to the point like, should we start touring again? Because when we did it, it was all before social media. And, we had one cell phone, I think, in the van that we had for everyone while we were touring around. And didn't have that outlet of social media that everyone has now. It's seemingly so much easier to get exposure these days and get things going than it was. It was very grassroots back then. Mm-hmm. Some of the members are married now, have kids. We're all older, it's not like we want to sleep on floors anymore.
Right.
Yeah, things are, different now.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. We had a great time at the reunion. I'm not opposed to us doing something in the future to get going again, because my heart's there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it definitely shows. I think you guys should consider it. I mean, it's so different now. So different now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So if you guys want to hear Jody back out on the road with Mountain of Venus, let us know. Share it on social media. No, I'm just kidding. Hashtag Mountain of Venus.
Right.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think about the bands that are, 30 years ago that were popular, and they're back at it. Like I saw Driving and Crying back in May here in Columbia at a festival. Yes, it's been 30 years. You can definitely. And I was looking around, like my girls were like, you like this music? Like you like this music? I'm like, oh, it gets better. It gets better. And like, they just had no interest at all. Like, but looking around at the people at the festival, I mean, there were people in their 40s, mid 40s, early 50s. And we were just like, I felt like I was 20 years old again, and I could just feel it. Like I could feel it in my bones, like that time.
Yep. Very nostalgic.
Lives. Yeah, so I'm going to get all teary just thinking about it. I didn't mean to do that. This episode of the Midlife Magic Podcast is sponsored by my favorite fitness apparel, Zaya Active. I discovered Zaya Active when I went looking for high quality and premium workout clothes, just like those luxury store and catalog brands, yet I wanted a budget-friendlier price tag. I love this brand because I live a very active lifestyle. I work out about 5 days a week, plus I love to go for runs and long walks, which I consider to be my very important self-care and podcast listening time. The clothes stay put, I'm not constantly pulling on my leggings or tugging on my sports bras, and they accentuate me in all the right places. And when I work from home, they are the perfect clothes for being comfortable and still stylish. And I can transition to running out the door to pick up our girls or run errands while still looking put together in my athleisure styles. My favorite workout leggings are the Light and Tights, and my favorite everyday wear are the Everywhere pants. Yes, I literally wear them everywhere, every day. I can even wear them to business meetings or client consultations, and I can dress them up or down easily. Want to learn more? Head over to lisamustard.com and click on the activewear page. You can learn all about Zaya Active, the mission, the clothes, and see if they are a fit for you and your active life. From weight training to running to Zumba to yoga to CrossFit to bar to walking to tennis, Zaya Active has you covered. And don't forget about the active men in your life. They have an amazing men's line, plus clothes for active kids too. That's Zaya like papaya active. So see my site for all the details. That's lisamustard.com/active-wear. So we have our 30th high school reunion coming up. Are you going to go?
I don't have plans to be there, honestly.
Why?
Nothing against it. I think it would be fun, actually.
Yeah.
I guess it'd just be a matter if it works out in my schedule or not.
Right. If you're touring again.
Yeah, right.
In October of this year in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
Let's put it on the tour dates.
I think you've kept up with a lot of our high school friends a little more than I have, maybe.
Here and there, after high school, I started at the University of Georgia, and then I transferred to VCU. So I had a lot of people from high school like back then in college. And I don't want to call them out because they may not like it, but I'm going to do it. So Eric Gregory and Billy Creekmore, if you guys are listening by chance, y'all better be there. But I lived with them in college for a little bit. And that was such a fun time in my life as well. And I just learned so much about all kinds of things from those two. But I mean, honestly, like, the last reunion I went to was the 10-year reunion. I didn't go to the 20. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't go to that. But I'm excited to go to 30. 30 feels like time, like substantial amount of time has passed. And it's crazy because like the good and the bad about social media is we can connect with each other, we can see each other, but we only see like the highlights, right? Like we don't really know what's going on behind closed doors because social media you only want to show the highlights. So I have connected with some folks in private messenger who just kind of share, what's going on in their lives, and divorces have happened, separations have happened, careers, like financial stuff. But I think it'll just be really neat to kind of all be together and just, we have this like the shared experience of 4 years of high school, right? Now, my experiences and my interpretation of it is going to be different than yours, right? But we all sat in that Douglas South Hall Freeman High School auditorium at one point or another and sat through a basketball game or a pep rally. So we all have like these shared experiences, or we had like, gosh, I can't even remember like who we had for high school English. I mean, I cannot remember teachers to save my life. I know you and I had English together our senior year, right? Did we sit, like, weren't we, we had class together our senior year. I think it was English, right?
Gosh, your memory is so much better than mine.
I think we did. I know we had algebra 2 together in 11th grade because you sat behind me with Matt Mogul. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Remember y'all doing that? If Matt's listening, hey, Matt. So anyway, I just think it's really cool that 30 years ago, we had these shared experiences. And I think it'll just be neat to kind of see what everybody's up to and how they're doing. And it's a connection, it's a connection.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt. You were definitely way more popular than I was in high school. I was lucky that I got to date you. You kind of like raised me up a level.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah. I mean, you were like on the home or prom court or whatever it was, homecoming court. Yeah.
But what was going on for me, and I know you know this because you witnessed a lot of it, that time in my life was really hard. Like really, I'm going to start tearing up, like thinking about my dad and what happened. And for those of you who don't know, my dad ended up going to federal prison when I was 18. And so all of the stuff leading up to that was going on when I was like a junior, senior in high school. And I really was struggling. And you and your family were just so incredible and helpful. I will always be grateful to you guys and your sisters and your mom and your dad. So, I mean, what's popularity in high school? I mean, whatever that is. I don't know. I guess it doesn't, I don't think about that. I really don't remember that much of that. I remember actually being kind of an introvert more than anything. And, I had like a set group, like I had my friends and I had you, but I don't really remember. It's just a lot going on personally that um, I was trying to manage. And that was really weird time and hard. So, but thanks. I
I
mean, I guess.
understandably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it definitely was. Well, you've come a long way since then,
Well, thanks, Jody. That's
in
so
a good
kind.
way.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I've done my share of therapy, being a therapist and doing therapy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
And
goes
that's
hand in hand, right?
right. Yeah. And, that's funny because like that's partly how I decided to become a therapist was like finally confronting a lot of that stuff that I went through in my teens, in my late 20s, because it was getting in the way of my relationship with Billy. And so that's why I went. And I probably should have gone in high school, but you couldn't tell me to do that in high school because I didn't want to talk to anybody, And
Yeah.
so I do credit you and your family for helping me through so much of that. So
Well, I'm glad to hear
yeah.
that.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for you? What's next, do you think?
Oh gosh, just some healthier living.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, as I've gotten older, I've realized more and more how important that is
Yeah.
in a lot of different ways.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
And I didn't go to therapy at all when I was younger or growing up. And I did in the last few years. And it was also very good and needed. And I probably still need to continue that as well. It's important to have a non-biased soundboard
Mm-hmm.
to be able to talk things over. Everybody needs that.
Yeah. It's really a gift that you can give yourself. I love it. I love therapy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. It's been the best thing that I ever decided to do and changed me completely and evolved, always evolving, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I still mess up all the time and say things and do things that, behind closed doors.
You're human.
Yeah, definitely. And I think though in midlife, I'm a lot easier on myself. Like I can accept pieces and parts of me that I may not have liked so much in my 20s. But I'm kinder to myself now. I recognize those things were there as like defense mechanisms or things that kept me safe in a way. So yeah, midlife, I don't know. Like I know the name of the show is Midlife Magic. So
Yeah.
I feel like we should end on something that you've learned in midlife that you wish you had known in your 20s. Or if you could tell yourself something in your 20s, what would that be?
Probably that life is not going to go the way you plan it to go. And there's a lot of curveballs along the way that you do not plan for or
Mhm.
expect that change your life, but to stay strong and do the things you need to do to maintain your mental health and move forward in a positive way through
Yeah, I like that. So, dear 20 something Jody,
it.
things are not going to go the way you think they will. And that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. And
Yes.
and I want to add, like, if I would say to myself, like, see it as an adventure and not so much a hardship. I never really got that message that life is an adventure and it's full of opportunity. I got the message like, no, this is what you do because life can suck,
Right. Right.
and
And lately for me, I'm dealing with some health issues, and someone put it to me really well, a new friend that I've made recently.
Mhm.
And she said, it's not about getting back to what you were, it's about moving forward from where you are.
Yeah.
And that really hit home and made a lot of sense with me because, as we age, And then I've heard you talk about it in some of your other shows. You know, we lose muscle mass and we're not as agile or strong and athletic as we were. And that's kind of a hard thing to take and deal with as you get older.
Yeah.
But it is about finding the positive side of that and making the most of what you have.
Yep. That's so wise. I like your new friend. She sounds like a really wise woman.
She's really amazing, actually.
So shout out to her, whoever she is, this mystery woman.
Her name is Heather Reiki.
Oh, Heather, thank you. Thank you for being so amazing for Jody. Maybe you can bring her to the reunion when you come.
Maybe so. Yes.
Because you better be there. That's all I'm saying. You better be there. So like, okay, this has been so great. And I'm so glad. I know you got to go in a minute. So who else should I reach out to and say, hey, come be on Midlife Magic and talk about 30 years? Who would be a good one?
Oh my goodness. Heather would be a good one, actually.
Oh yeah?
She does lots of self healing work.
Is she like a personal development junkie like me?
Yeah, I would say so. She's a nurse by occupation.
Cool.
But she's very grounded and connected to the universe. She does lots of meditation and acupuncture and, you know, just healthy things for her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right. Well, we'll have to connect with Heather. So thank you for that recommendation.
Yeah. It's so cool to reconnect with you.
I know. This is super cool.
This has been great.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I just
have to do it again soon.
And it all started because you posted a picture of some drink that you had on Facebook stories. And I was like, hey, what is that? That looks like something I might like. And you just like wrote me back. And I was like, oh, here's a picture of my breakfast. And then hey, how you doing? And then it was like, boom. And I was like, we got to talk. Let's talk.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really fun to reconnect with you. And I'm so grateful that you came on to the show. Thanks for doing this. I know this was probably not what you were planning to do today.
It was a surprise, but no, I'm glad to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Please give your mom a hug and your sisters a hug and a kiss for me and tell everybody that we say hi, okay?
I absolutely will.
Okay. Oh, and one more thing.
And same to your mom and your sister.
Yeah. Oh, I will for sure. So where can people hear your music? I feel like we should, because people might want to know more about Mountain of Venus. Where is it?
YouTube probably is the best place.
Okay.
Just search Mountain of Venus on YouTube. A friend of ours, Cole Bruce, COLBRUCE. He's done a lot of video posting of my band.
Okay. Well, I'll link it in the show notes. So if you want to just click in the show notes, you guys, you can just click on YouTube link and go check Jody out and hear him and his amazing music. All right. Well, thanks again.
Yeah. It's great talking to you.
So that was really cool to catch up with Jody and connect with him again after 28, 30 years and see where he's been and what he's doing now. And so I was really curious about the music that came out in 1991, the year that we graduated. So I had to go look up which Van Halen album it was. So it was Van Halen for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. That's the album that came out. And as I was looking for the Van Halen album, I started to kind of go a little bit deeper into what music came out in 1991 that really is probably the music of, 18, 19 years old. And so I wanted to share with you guys, of course, one of the albums that influenced me a lot was REM, Losing My Religion. That came out in February of 1991. And I remember just being floored by that album and everybody was listening to it. We definitely really we knew about REM, Radio Free Europe and all that. But when that album came out, it just really took off and it definitely took REM to that next level. Other albums of that year, of course, we want to talk about Nirvana. That came out. That album, Nevermind, came out. That was incredible. Also, Pearl Jam 10 came out that year. Metallica came out that year. Metallica. And then another one that's been important for me over the past, 30 years, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. That is such an incredible album. We also have Achtung Baby by U2. Saw them in concert in 1992. think it was 1992. Yeah, I think I saw them in concert 2 times, and that was U2 will always love them as well. That album, I know I listened to that CD over and over and over again. Another one that was important was the Smashing Pumpkins Gish came out. I remember listening to that one as well with my roommates, Eric and Billy. I remember Billy really being into the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Creekmore, not my husband, Billy Mustard. And what else came out that year? Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion came out as well. And the same time, I think Use Your Illusion 2 came out. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what music you were listening to in 1991. Doesn't matter how old you were in 1991. I'd love to know what made an imprint or impact in you. Another thing that I wanted to share, that over 30 years, where I am today at 48, one of my favorite products as I age, and we can't stop it, and I'm not complaining about aging at all, trying to definitely find the joy in the process and realize that 48 years old, I've lived a life, and I'm very, very grateful for everything that I've been through because it's made me the person I am today. But one of the things that definitely makes my life easier, especially since I sit at the computer a lot, and my eyes are changing, let's just leave it at that, are ChemTech computer glasses and readers. I use the ones that have the plus 0.25 reader. Hopefully, well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, eventually I'm going to have to move up in the readers, but I like these glasses because they take out the blue light that comes from the computer. And so I definitely notice a difference when I wear these. My eyes feel better. And I was looking for where you can find these. So you can't find these on Amazon or Walmart. You need to go to the website, and I'll link the website in the show notes if you guys want to check them out. And then what you do is you go to a location, a retail locator. And if you're in Columbia, South Carolina, I highly recommend 2020 Vision. That's where I go. That's where I get my eyes taken care of. I really love going there. But anyway, 2020 Vision on St. Julian Place here in Columbia. But you can also get them at Divine Eyes, Columbia Eye Clinic. If you're not in Columbia, then just go to the website, which is inavision.com, and click on retail locator. I'll put that link in the show notes. All right, you guys, thanks again for listening to this episode. Connect with Jody if you know him. If not, connect with him anyway. Be sure to check out the Mountain of Venus music that we'll put in the show notes. And thanks again for being here, you guys. I'm super excited for more episodes of Midlife Magic. And don't forget to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform player, Spotify, iTunes, Google, whatever, Stitcher, wherever you get podcasts. Please click subscribe to the show and give me a rating and review if you've enjoyed it or you're enjoying it so far. That helps get the podcast out to more people in midlife, make an impact, and help everybody live their best midlives. So thanks again for being here, you guys. Well, that's this week's episode of the Midlife Magic Podcast.
Don't forget to join us next time for another episode. Thank you for listening.